Wow, yummy. My favorite sandwich, peanut butter with pickles and anchovies. Yummy. Oh, hi kids. I didn't see you there. I'm about to have my favorite sandwich. It's peanut butter and pickles and anchovies. Doesn't that sound great? It doesn't? Well, my grandfather used to give it to me to make me feel better on rainy days. I can't wait to have it. It's my favorite. Hey, who's that?
Ranger Joe!
Come on in, Bobby.
Hey, Ranger Joe!
This is my friend Bobby. Bobby, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Wow, Ranger Joe, you have a lot of friends over.
Yes, I know. Bobby helps me around the house with all kinds of things like putting seed in the bird feeder and chopping wood and also putting gasoline in the generator. So what are you doing here today, Bobby?
Well, I was in the area and I got hungry and I thought I would come see if you had any food.
Well, I just got through making this for myself, but I'd love to share it if you want to.
Well, gee, thanks, Ranger Joe. Whoa, what's happening? It's dark.
This is very odd. Bobby, did you do all your tasks the other day?
Yes, I chopped all the firewood.
Okay, that's good, but did you...
And I filled all 27 bird feeders.
Okay,
and
but
I
did you...
even swept your front porch.
Okay, and thank you for doing that. But did you put gasoline in the generator?
I did not.
Bobby, you were supposed to do that yesterday.
I know, Ranger Joe, and I knew that I was supposed to, but then it started raining, and I got really tired from chopping all the firewood and filling 27 bird feeders. That is not an easy task. And did I mention it was raining? And there was mud, a lot of mud.
Okay, well, never mind. Just go do it right now.
Yeah, Ranger Joe, it's still raining out there, and it's dark and it's scary, so...
Bobby, it was your responsibility yesterday to put gasoline in the generator. If you had done that, then we wouldn't be in the dark right now.
But Ranger Joe, if I go out there are so many scary things out there. I mean, there's bears, there's snakes, there's worms, porcupines, bobcats.
I think Bobby is a little frightened, so I'm gonna go put the gasoline in the generator myself.
Mountains and crawling critters and prickly porcupines and sneaky squirrels and buzzing bees and, oh, hey, the lights came back on. Ranger Joe, did you just go out and refill the generator?
I did, Bobby.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta say, you were really brave. I don't think I could have done that.
That's okay. Sometimes when things get scary and we get concerned, all you have to do is pray. And pray to the Lord for strength and courage because the Bible tells us that He hears our prayers and He's faithful.
Wow, it's so encouraging to know that God hears our prayers and gives us strength when we ask for it.
You know, that reminds me of a story in the Bible where Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane and He prays for strength.
Whoa! Are you telling me even Jesus prayed for strength?
Yes, that's right. Jesus depended on God with all his heart and soul and mind and strength. And he also depended on the Lord for strength and courage. That helps us, doesn't it? Because when times are hard or we get scared, we can use Jesus' example and pray just like he did.
Well, thank you, Ranger Joe. You know, the next time I'm afraid of the dark, I'm going to pray to God and ask Him for strength and courage so that I won't be afraid anymore.
What was that? A cranky caribou?
No, I don't think so.
No, I hear that. Do you hear that too? It's somewhere very close to me. Is that coming from you, Bobby?
No! No. Yeah, I think it's my stomach. You know, see, we've been talking about praying for strength and courage, and it's great. But I forgot how hungry I was. I came here for food.
Well, here, have the rest of the sandwich. You need it much more than I do.
Are you sure? I mean, what about you, Ranger Joe? Aren't you hungry? I mean, don't you want some too?
Well, I do, and I made it for me, but I'd rather give it to you as a sacrifice for your good.
Sacrifice, right. What is that again?
Sacrifice? Sacrifice is when you give up something that you want or do something difficult for the good of others.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can you give me an example of that?
I can give you a great example. In fact, the greatest example of all. Come and sit with me over here. Jesus is the perfect example of what sacrifice is. Long ago, the people of Israel sacrificed animals to God to ask forgiveness of their sins. God says sin is punishable by death. But God allowed the Israelites to sacrifice lambs to remind them of the cost of sin. Every year they came to Jerusalem for a special day called Passover. Passover celebrated God rescuing Israel from slavery in Egypt. On Passover, hundreds of lambs were sacrificed. And then the people had a special dinner to remember what God had done for them.
That's right. Didn't Jesus and his disciples celebrate Passover in the upper room?
Right. And on that night, Jesus told them that he was going to become the perfect sacrifice and die for their sins. The lambs couldn't pay for the people's sin. Only the death of the perfect Son of God could do that.
Wow. That is the ultimate sacrifice. Jesus did what was difficult and died for us. I don't think I could die for anybody.
Yes, exactly. Jesus did all of that because he really loves us. And every time we make a hard decision and give something up that we want for others, it shows how much we love each other, just like Jesus.
Thanks for telling me what sacrifice is, Ranger Joe. Sorry I didn't refill the generator when I was supposed to. I only thought about how tired I was, and because of me, your generators ran out of gas and the lights shut off. I'll make sure I do that in the future. And Ranger Joe, thank you for that sandwich. It was the best sandwich I ever had. Thanks to your sacrifice, I'm no longer hungry. Well, I'm going to head home now before the river overflows.
And I have to swim home.
Sounds good. If you want any more information about Jesus' sacrifice, go to Luke 22. Stay safe and stay dry.
Thanks, Ranger Joe. I'll see you later.
I love it when Bobby comes by. And I love it when you come by too. I'm glad you got to hear the things I was telling Bobby. Jesus made the ultimate and perfect sacrifice. God's people used to sacrifice animals in the hope of receiving God's forgiveness, but now everyone who believes in Jesus will have their sins forgiven. Jesus prayed to God to help him to offer himself up as a sacrifice, and God answered his prayer by giving him strength. So come back next week. We'll learn more about Jesus and the truth of God's word. But for now, I better get out there and make sure Bobby gets home safely. See you later.